Welcome back. Here is a question for you. Do you minimize your own thoughts and feelings? Do you doubt yourself? Do you doubt your memories? If so, you might be gaslighting yourself. Psychotherapist Marci Gray is here to help us identify the signs and how to combat it. And Marci, before we get into self-gaslighting, can you give us a quick refresher on what gaslighting itself is?
So gaslighting, Tracy, is if, something happened to you yesterday and you come to me and you're telling me about it, and I just say, oh, you're exaggerating, or that didn't happen, or you're, over dramatic. Just kind of dismissing your emotions, your feelings, your experiences. That's when someone else is gaslighting you. And if it's a partner, it can be manipulative or abusive and really not well for your well-being or your mental health.
Okay, so this is what other people can do to you, but you can also do this to yourself. You can essentially self-gaslight. How does that work?
So self-gaslighting is when you diminish your perceptions, your memories, your emotions, your experiences, as if they're not true or valid or real.
Okay, so how do we know when we are gaslighting ourselves? Because we're doing it to ourselves, so how can we tell?
So we know we're gaslighting ourselves when we completely diminish our own experiences and put someone else's experience above our own. We may think that we're misremembering. So maybe our partner did something to us and we say, oh, we should just get over it. We know that they love us. Or we're just thinking that we're being oversensitive, or we're just totally thinking that we misremembered something that really happened to us. So we're diminishing our experiences. We're questioning our experiences and our perception and our memories of things.
I've definitely done it to myself, and I want to know why. Why do we do this to ourselves, Marci?
Yeah, so sometimes we're doing this to ourselves because somebody gaslighted us, and then we started to internalize those messages, and then we start doing it to ourselves. Another reason why we could have started to gaslight is because somehow growing up, we got the message that we can't trust our own instincts, our own feelings, or memories, and we start to question our experiences and question whether we went through what we actually went through and start to invalidate ourselves and our experiences.
Okay, so the most important question of this whole thing is how do we stop? How do we stop gaslighting ourselves? You've got some tips for us?
Yeah, absolutely. So sometimes gaslighting could have come out of a traumatic situation, a traumatic event, or could have come out of a traumatic abusive relationship. So we want to just acknowledge that perhaps that was something that helped us to get through that time, but now we no longer want to, it's no longer serving us. And so now that it's no longer serving us, what we want to think of is changing this, right? So we want to acknowledge that we are self-gaslighting and that we want to change that. So that's the first thing. Secondly, here's an exercise that we can try, is doing some journaling and then reading that back to yourself out loud. And as you read it, what you want to say to yourself is, this is my truth, these are emotions, my emotions, and they are valid, and I do need to honor them. The third thing is to surround yourself with people who can validate you and who will catch you if you're self-gaslighting. And you really want to commit to being non-judgmental of yourself and really listening to yourself and your emotions, your perceptions, your memories, and validating that. But lastly, you may want to go and see your therapist, because sometimes self-gaslighting is hard to just get through on your own. So you do want to work it through with a therapist if you're really struggling with this, to help you to get through self-gaslighting.
Good tips. Marci, thank you so much for taking us through this. I think that a lot of us are learning from you. Good information.